I do want to go ahead and hit this ain't it, because there's a lot of things that, and again, I want people to understand, when we talk about the show, there's a difference between pointing out the politicization of sports and then complaining about politics, opining on political things in sports. I think people need to see that difference. So when we talk about it, a lot of what you hear us talk about is, why are we politicizing this in sports? That's the whole problem, is politicizing sports. There's a lot of people that can't tell the difference, and I just want them to understand that. But today, Sports Illustrated very own writer Greg Bishop just released an article detailing the upcoming Supreme Court decision on Bremerton High School, telling Coach Joe Kennedy he could not pray on the field in front of the players after a football game, saying the outcome is a likely win for the coach and an erosion of a bedrock of American democracy. Now look, Mr. Bishop is totally fine to believe that, because in America, we should be able to believe different things, and that's okay. But why do we have to have the Supreme Court rule on whether someone can pray on a field or not? We have religious freedom in this country, and regardless of who you pray to, you should have the ability to do it. I wonder if it was a Muslim coach praying after a game, would Mr. Bishop say the same thing? It's funny how on one hand, we have groups of people that want to teach kindergartners about sex, but it's not okay to pray on the field during the game in front of high schoolers. That doesn't add up. This is an individual doing an individual act. He did not ask anyone to join him, even though many did. He wasn't seeking attention, as Mr. Bishop would like to claim. And this isn't some huge conspiracy to help push an agenda. Players and coaches have been praying to their gods since sports started. There are players and coaches that wear necklaces with crosses and all type of religious themes on their bodies. What's next? Are you going to snatch those off their necks before the game? And I'd be willing to bet that if Coach Kennedy had ran to midfield after the game and planted a pride flag in the ground, Sports Illustrated would have named him the Coach of the Year. So once again, regardless of what political side you're on, politics is invading sports where it shouldn't. If a coach or a player wants to pray after, during, or before the game, they should be able to pray regardless of who it is to. Us having the highest court in the land decide if we can pray or not isn't what this country was built on, and there's no place for it in sports. And to be honest with you, when I have to go to the gas, go see $6 a gallon of gas, we need more prayers right now, not less of them. It's ridiculous. Sports Illustrated, Greg Bishop, there's a lot of stuff that's it. But I promise you, this ain't it. And I don't want to sit here too long on it, but Cone, it's amazing. When did we start vilifying people for... People have been praying at games, praying before games, praying after games. I went to high school, people prayed before games, after games. If they want to do it, let them do it. It's not like you're forcing somebody to do it or saying, hey, you're going to lose playing time if you don't do this, because that doesn't help the coach.
That's the thing. And people arguing against this are citing the separation of church and state. So in my head, I was thinking, how far would this coach have had to have gone before I said, yeah, you know what, that's something that should reach up to the Supreme Court level. And I was thinking, okay, if he told a kid, you can't play on the team anymore unless you join the team prayer session.
That's totally different.
He's a coach in PE at the school and says, you're going to receive detention unless you come together in the group prayer. To me, that's something that, okay, that reached the level of Supreme Court. Not, hey, I agree with you. I think we may need a little bit more prayer in school, but that does seem to violate separation of church and state, or at least you could have an argument with a kid saying, hey, I don't want to partake in that. This right here, a coach drops to his knee to pray, and that's bad. But if he were to drop to his knee to protest the national anthem, that's good.
Celebrate.
I don't think I'll allow Sports Illustrated to tell me what our moral parameters should be.
Yeah, again, and that's my thing. Sports, again, Greg Bishop, and then we all know people have agendas. Everybody has agendas, just depends on what side. But we are actually having to go to the Supreme Court to look at a coach to determine whether it is okay for him after a game by himself, just think about this, to go out and pray to his God by himself. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you pray to a football or you pray to some, Zeus and Thor. I don't care. As long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as you're not forcing anybody to do something, as long as you're not abusing authority to be able to push your own agenda or belief, who cares? We care about the stupidest thing. Like, we get upset about the stupidest things. And it's just showing you right now. That's why we're at where we're at right now.
I can agree any more with what both you said, but I really want to hit something really important right now. All right, and I want the answer from both of you. How terrible is High School Musical? Let's be honest.
It's bad.
It's terrible.
High School Musical?
Yeah, it's terrible. Let's be honest.
Is
We
this
got some
something I
people in the
should have
chat.
seen?
How it got in the chat, I don't know. Get it out.
They got
Stop
High School Musical in the chat?
Yeah, stop.
We'll have no High School
It's
Musical.
Is that
terrible.
something I should have seen?
Yeah.
No,
You're
it's
gonna
not, David.
You're going to
You're
be coming here
so
dribbling like
lucky
this, like singing?
you didn't see it.
Okay.
It's
Because
not
it's
good.
terrible.
It's not. Actually, you know what? I want you to watch it, and
No.
I want you to
Just
write
for
it.
a
Your
review?
eyes will start
Just
bleeding.
for a review?
Oh,
It's
Is it a
ridiculous.
show or a
Blaine, as
it's a movie. There's like 3 of them. They just sing and pretend to play sports.
as I'm walking over to the, I'll do High School Musical as I walk over to the board just to show Cone. But anyway, let's talk about the Booster Club. Here's what they do, Cone. It's 45 minutes this. I'm waiting for you, and you're waiting for me. It's High School Musical. Everybody be so
Oh,
together.
dude.
That's going to make the best of.
Yeah.
I remember like
That's actually exactly how it went. I think that- yeah. They're like, math
me.
sucks, and science does too.
Vanessa Hudgens, though, I mean.
Well, you know, there's levels to it.
If you like that content, go ahead and subscribe because we're going to be balling every day on Crane & Company. Hit that like button while you're at it and go ahead and smash it like Derrick Henry on an ISO run.